Imagine the excitement of heading home for the holidays, the promise of family, warmth, and the simple joy of being together. Now, imagine that journey ending not with a hug, but with an abandoned car, a desperate phone call, and a chilling silence that has lasted for years. Tonight, on City Shadows Unsolved, we drive down a lonely stretch of California highway where a young man vanished into thin air. This is a perplexing case of Dane Elkins. Dane Elkins was a young man of just 21 in December 2020. He loved music, shared a close bond with his family, and looked forward to his life ahead. He lived in the lively Los Angeles area, while his family, including his dear grandmother, was in Shingletown, a quieter town in Northern California. As Christmas approached, Dane carefully planned his drive north. He was eager to spend the holidays with his loved ones. It was a long journey, with hundreds of miles separating him from his destination. He would travel through varied landscapes, from busy cities to the vast emptiness of the desert. This drive is something many people do without a second thought. But for Dane, the drive on December 21st, 2020, will become a frightening and unresolved mystery. His family was excited for his arrival. However, that anticipation soon turned into deep concern. The first signs of trouble did not come through a missed phone call, but directly from Dane. He reached out to his family, and the conversation was quite troubling. They reported that his voice sounded disoriented and confused. He told them he was driving on a dirt road and that his car was broken down. That detail is worth considering: a dirt road and a broken down car. This information became critical as the situation developed. Days passed before Dane's 2017 Hyundai Sonata was found abandoned. It was not on a dirt road as he claimed, but on the shoulder of Highway 58, an important state route near Barstow, California. This section of Highway 58 is known for its desolation and harsh desert environment. The car showed signs of damage. A broken headlight, a missing grille, and scuff marks indicating it had been involved in impact. So which story is true? Was he actually on a dirt road, or was he on Highway 58? And if his car was truly broken down, why was Dane nowhere to be found nearby? The spot where the car was found sharply contradicted Dane's earlier frantic report. When deputies responded to the scene, there was no sign of Dane. No note, no explanation, just an empty car and overwhelming silence. To understand what may have happened, we need to carefully examine Dane's behavior in the crucial days leading up to December 21st. Both family and friends noticed a troubling change in Dane's usual demeanor. He had been acting strangely before his trip. Some mentioned paranoia, a concerning state of mind marked by unwarranted suspicion. Others talked about him, saying odd things that felt out of character for him. This change in behavior raises questions about his mental state at the moment of his disappearance, which is key to grasping the odd circumstances surrounding the case. Could Dane have been experiencing a serious mental health crisis? This idea weighs heavily on the investigation, offering a potential yet tragic explanation. Is it possible that severe confusion caused him to wander off, lost and vulnerable, into the harsh desert surrounding Highway 58? This remains one of the most discussed and heartbreaking possibilities. The painful thought that a young man, overwhelmed by stress, simply walked away from his damaged car and may have succumbed to nature's brutal elements or the vast wilderness. The idea of him alone and lost in such an indifferent landscape is truly unsettling. The Barstow area has extreme, and unpredictable conditions. Survival there requires resources and clear thinking. Temperatures can drop sharply at night, and water is scarce, making it tough to survive without preparation or help. Even as we consider this grim possibility, we must also think about another troubling scenario: the chance of an external encounter that led to harm. This theory casts a dark shadow over the story, suggesting that Dane's disappearance was not due to his actions while disoriented, but possibly because of someone else's intent. This brings us to a crucial line of inquiry: the possibility of a harmful interaction on that quiet stretch of road.
Another thing that the CIA does, so they recruit you, right? And if you don't want to do whatever they want you to do, then they kill you.
Highway 58, while remote and often empty, still sees human activity. Many travelers, truckers, and people crossing through the desert use it. So, a troubling question arises. Could Dane have met someone during his trip? Did he stop to help a stranger by the roadside? Or did he pull over for another unknown reason that led to a possibly dangerous situation? In either case, the key question is, did this encounter lead to his disappearance? This encounter theory was quickly considered early in the investigation, sparked by two unsettling factors. First, the isolation of the area where his car was found, which had hide unseen acts, and second, the complete lack of a clear explanation for Dane's disappearance, which pushes investigators to look beyond simple accidents. If something bad happened, what was the reason or motive? Was it robbery, a random act of violence, or something more personal? And importantly, how was Dane taken from the scene without leaving a trace? The state of his car, damaged but still found by authorities, clearly indicates some event occurred. What exactly happened during or after that collision? Was he forced into a dangerous situation by someone? Was he taken against his will on that lonely road? The details available regarding this part of the case are very few, providing little evidence to build a clear conclusion. Law enforcement has shared limited information about any evidence that could point in any direction. This lack of communication, while perhaps a necessary approach, raises a level of speculation and the many theories surrounding Dane's disappearance. The vast desert, while dangerous to someone lost or confused, also provides many places for a person to hide from sight, making traditional searches incredibly hard and often unsuccessful. The ongoing absence of solid evidence for either the disorientation theory or the harm theory leaves a significant and troubling gap in the investigation, contributing to the unsettling mystery. Following Dane's disappearance, his family was overwhelmed with worry and a strong sense of urgency. They immediately began a desperate search. Their actions were quick and thorough, showing their deep love for Dane. They could not accept his absence without a fight. They organized extensive ground searches, coordinating closely with volunteers and local authorities to comb the difficult desert terrain. They put up countless flyers, hoping a passerby might provide crucial information. They also used social media to spread awareness about Dane's case, reaching out to a broader audience for help. Dedicated volunteers, driven by compassion, scoured the desolate areas around Highway 58. They faced harsh desert conditions, holding on to hope of finding any clue that might lead them to Dane or give insight into his fate. Despite the painful passage of time and the emotional toll of the situation, his family has never lost hope. Their determination remains strong, showing their enduring love. They have worked tirelessly day after day and year after year to keep Dane's name visible, ensuring he is not forgotten and that his story continues to be heard. They firmly believe that someone somewhere has a piece of information that could help solve this mystery. The emotional burden of an unresolved disappearance is beyond imagination. It is a relentless torment. It brings a constant presence of unanswered questions, the painful lack of closure, and the exhausting feeling of being stuck in an unbearable limbo between hope and despair. Every day, they wake up without answers, unsure if Dane is alive or if he has passed, and whether he is suffering or face a tragic end. Their ongoing pain highlights the significant human impact of unsolved cases, affecting not just a missing person, but extending to their entire grieving family and community. As we delve deeper into this mystery, we must confront the key questions that persistently demand answers. First, consider Dane's initial confusion. What exactly led to that strange, disjointed phone call to his family? Was it a sudden medical event that tragically struck him, or a reaction to some unknown substance he ingested during his journey? Or, and this is a troubling thought, was it a sign of an even more serious situation, perhaps an external threat already in play? Next, there is a glaring contradiction. Why did he mention a dirt road when his car was eventually found on Highway 58? Was that geographical mix-up solely on Dane's part a sign of a troubled mind? Or was he trying to communicate something more specific to his family, hiding a clue in his words? Now, let's consider the implications. If he did experience an impact or mechanical failure on Highway 58 and then walked away out of deep disorientation, where did he go? The area has been thoroughly searched by both official agencies and dedicated volunteers, yet they found no trace of him. Could a seemingly innocent encounter explain his disappearance? Did he accept a ride from someone who seemed harmless, only to be dropped off in an unfamiliar place without that person realizing Dane's confused state, thereby unknowingly removing him from the search area? However, a more disturbing possibility lingers. Was the impact itself a planned event, part of a larger scheme? Was he forcibly pushed off the road by someone who specifically targeted him? Did someone, noticing his vulnerable state, whatever caused it, exploit the situation to abduct him or cause him harm? The complete absence of any physical trace of Dane near his vehicle, combined with those unusual and troubling phone calls, creates a complex web of puzzling possibilities. Each scenario raises more questions than it answers, leaving us uncertain. Indeed, every theory that attempts to explain his disappearance reveals significant gaps, and every piece of information we have seems to lead us to even more unresolved questions. What really happened to Dane Elkins on that lonely Highway 58 in December 2020 remains an unsettling mystery. His case serves as a stark reminder of how quickly life can change, how unexpectedly a routine journey can lead into the unknown, and how a hopeful trip home can turn into an endless, painful search for truth and closure. The story of Dane Elkins brings immense sorrow to his family and continues to perplex those who follow true crime. The road to holidays turned into a lonely path for Dane Elkins. His story, marked along Highway 58, is filled with important questions that remain unanswered. Did he lose his way in the vast desert, or was his life taken by an unseen force? The truth is a painful puzzle, haunting a family that is desperate for answers and stuck in a tragic limbo. This is not just an old case. It represents ongoing pain. If you have any piece of information, a brief memory, or a passing detail. It could be the missing link. Please contact the authorities listed. Your bravery could break this silence and help uncover the truth, bringing peace to a family living in darkness. What are your thoughts? Where do you think the truth lies? Share your ideas below. Keep Dane's memory alive. If you're interested in the deep questions hidden in the shadows, subscribe to City Shadows Unsolved and turn on notifications. Join us as we work to solve the mysteries that affect our lives. Until then, stay watchful